You guys know what this is by now. Today, I'm gonna break down all the differences and similarities between the Explosion Hero and Katsuki Bakugo. There are no cosmetic changes to your avatar when equipped with Explosion Hero, but there is a spawn animation. I'm not sure where this comes from, but if you do know, please comment down below. While your Explosion Hero, your M1s will now end with an Explosion Punch, also affecting your down slam. The reason for this is because of Bakugo's quirk. His quirk is simply called Explosion. This allows him to secrete a nitroglycerin-like sweat from the palms of his hands and ignite it on command, allowing him to create strong explosions. These explosions don't really affect Bakugo, but he will start to get pain in his forearm if he overuses it. But you already know that. So let's quickly get into the moveset. The first move is titled Ground Cannon. This attack causes the user to hit the ground, creating an AoE explosion. This is not a named attack that Bakugo does in the anime, but he can be seen doing similar things, like here when he was clearing the smoke to get to Deku, or in this moment. There is also a second use to this move that allows you to follow up with a condensed explosion straight to your target's chest. Just like the base move, this is not a special attack that Bakugo does due to him being able to perform these explosions all the time. The finisher for this attack only occurs on the second use and looks like this, but it's original to the game. Up next is Powered Shot. The user charges up a condensed blast that shoots your target away. The animation looks just like Bakugo's attack because he is known to brace his attacking arm with his other hand to reinforce the blast and reduce damage. This attack also isn't named, but is inspired by the Grenadier Bracers. These are the support items that Bakugo chose to enhance his quirk. They allow him to store up his sweat to amplify his explosions beyond his regular attacks. Powered Shot looks very similar to this scene where Bakugo unleashes his bracers right in Deku's direction, almost killing him. Powered Shot also has a second use that allows you to dash quickly at your opponent, then grabbing them and blasting them upwards. I don't remember any specific attacks like this, but you can see Bakugo do an outrageously strong explosion straight into the sky to destroy all of the debris that Uraka was planning on dropping on him. Both finishers leave your enemy burnt like Jogo, but the second use kind of looks like this attack on Jack Mantis. Following that is Explosion Combo. This attack starts off a string of explosive punches which then go into a spinning burst through the air, ending in a combustion slam. Honestly, I think this is a game original attack because although there are spinning attacks that Bakugo does, I think they're much more akin to other attacks in game. My favorite attack of Bakugo's is actually his explosive subscribe, which you can do right now by pressing this button below. Some people think that this attack comes from this scene in the anime, but I don't see much resemblance. The finisher is a little teaser to the upcoming moves due to it having these interesting spark-like explosions at the end. More on those later. The final base move is called Blast Catapult. This attack causes the user to grab onto their opponent, spinning and traveling a short distance before throwing them away like a used Diddy bottle. This is inspired by Bakugo's special move called X Catapult, otherwise known as Explodapult. First seen in his fight with Jack Mantis, where Bakugo needed to work harder due to the cold weather not allowing him to sweat as much. The finisher, just like the others, is an upgraded version of the base, but with a hint of these cluster explosions that we're about to get into. This is where things get exciting. The ultimate is called Fury Ignition. The animation itself is not from the anime/manga, but the name is probably alluding to the fact that Bakugo is known for being a hothead. This anger actually helps Bakugo to be stronger, not only due to him having insane drive, but also the anger he gets the more he sweats. Let's remember that bro chose this name as his superhero alias. The M1s while in this mode will not only be stronger, but your range will increase due to your combustions. So from this point on, there aren't any finishers, but I'm gonna allow the devs since you guys went crazy with Bakugo's moveset. Eruption Dive is the first ult move. The user propels himself 4 times, grabbing your opponent on the way of each blast dash before jumping into the air and diving down into the ground with an explosion upon impact. The first few dashes are not really canon to the move, but this is taken from Bakugo's Howitzer Impact. The finishing move was first seen in his battle with Todoroki, but just to pause real quick, how the f does bro do this and not kill people? Is bro not a hero? This destructive attack may seem like it has little thought to it, but it truly is a feat of creativity. The reason why he propels himself in a circular motion is to create a mini tornado. The twister will then collect oxygen and momentum to fuel the subsequent explosion, explaining why it is one of Bakugo's strongest attacks. Secondly is my favorite move in the game, titled Exploding Star. I'm just gonna let the cutscene speak for itself. Yeah, so this has nothing to do with anything in the anime/manga, but it is one of the best original game attacks that I've seen in any Battlegrounds. It perfectly encapsulates Bakugo's fighting style while also enhancing onto his cluster sparks by using a star theme. Like, how did Roblox get to a point where we have impact frames, bruh? Right before the Super Awakening is the final move called Infernal Shot. This attack essentially is a super explosive punch that leaves your enemy burning with potential to combo extend off of it. There's no attack exactly like this, but it is inspired by Bakugo's new cluster move. By storing up a bunch of sweat all over his body as opposed to just his palms, Bakugo can create a barrage of explosions rather than one big attack. This was later revealed to be a quirk awakening, just like Deku or Shigaraki or even Getten. That is the reason as to why your body is sparking and your attacks spark and burn people as well. Now I need to mention something real quick. It was recently confirmed by Horikoshi, the mangaka of My Hero Academia, that every single MHA movie is canon to the series. This is important because some broke goes down in the movies. One of the broken things being that Bakugo briefly gets one for all in the second movie titled Heroes Rising. This created some really hype moments, but thank God bro lost it because he would have definitely been the #1 hero of all time. Now, if you watch my last video, you would know that Deku is the 9th user of One For All, meaning that makes Bakugo the 10th user. Therefore, this second awakening is called 10th Torch. Just like when All Might told him, this quirk was passed on to me like a sacred torch. To enter this mode, you must deal damage and activate your 4th move, but this is not a requirement for Bakugo's One For All. In this new awakening, your body will spark with mini explosions just like before, but you will now be glowing with orange-red energy just like Deku when in full cowling. Another side effect is for your M1s, which will now have secondary explosions after you land, as well as a slight AoE around you. You do lose the added range of your explosions from Fury Ignition due to your sweat now being more condensed and accurate. Mine is the first attack. The user dashes forward, grabbing anyone in their way and continues to dash before dealing a devastating punch to the face. And now look, Bakugo had One For All for less than 10 minutes in the movie, and throughout that brief sequence, I still couldn't find anything similar to mine or Blitz Kick. Regardless of all that, I still think the moves are cool and on theme to the explosion quirk. That being said, I was able to find something a tad bit closer to the anime, which is for Blast Away. As you can see, this causes you to walk forward with All For One glistening all around you, and if you make contact with the player, you will grab them by the head for a few steps before blasting them forward through 3 sub-explosions. The specifics of this attack are definitely original to the game, but the similarities can be found in this scene. Even though he's not used to the physical repercussions of One For All, he still mustered the will to keep fighting after falling into this crater, and through pure animal instincts, he decided to walk through this mountain by blasting the entire range away. The similarities of the slow walk and the massive explosion is what makes me think that Blast Away is inspired by this moment. Finally, we have NUKE. Cue the cutscene. Now this one is tricky because there is no one-for-one attack like this in the movie, but Bakugo does do a final attack in combo with Deku to finish off phase 9. This attack does result in Bakugo passing out, but he doesn't die or get burnt, so I think the game dramatized this attack due to its overpoweredness. Another thing they changed was the area of damage, because right here you can see Bakugo's is much more focused, unlike the in-game attack. But I do like the idea of Bakugo having a one last ditch effort attack even if it's not canon. So apparently you watch anime. Then you should just go right here and click this playlist where I break down all the difference and similarities between Roblox games and their anime inspirations. Millz Mafia out. Yeah.